Welcome to Life of Christ at Faulkner University. My name is Andrew Itzen, and I will be your instructor for this course. I want to welcome each and every one of you to this class, and I hope you have a lot of fun with it, and it's very challenging, and you get a lot out of our time together. Like I said, my name is Andrew Itzen, and I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am the preacher and minister at the Robertsdale Church of Christ in Robertsdale, Alabama. And I know a lot of you probably don't even know what Robertsdale is, but Robertsdale is a town about 30 minutes north of Gulf Shores. And Gulf Shores, of course, is right near the beach, so it takes us about 30 minutes or so to get to the beach. And so we're in Baldwin County, Alabama, just directly about 2.5 hours south of Montgomery. I attended Faulkner University and went 4 years there, got a degree in physical education and a degree in ministry. My wife and I actually met at Faulkner University, got married a few years after that, and then I got my master's degree in biblical studies from Faulkner University. And I'm currently working right now on my PhD in leadership in ministry and religion. And I'm taking those classes right now at the University of the Cumberlands. And one of the things that's unique about that PhD that I'm working on is actually the entire work, all of it for my PhD is actually online. And so I guess what I want to say as we get started with this course, the online classes are a great opportunity because there is some flexibility to it. Now, due dates are due dates, but the good news is you can take the class, sit in your bed, you can sit on the couch, you can be anywhere where there's wireless internet, and you can be a part of the course. But one thing that I've found in working on my PhD that you'll find with this class as well is that it requires a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline for you to make sure you're disciplined with everything, that you're getting your due dates done at the same time, because there's no teacher constantly reminding you. You have to be able to go to Blackboard and check in regularly and make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do. And so what I've done is I've tried to make the content extremely accessible. What you're going to find is most of the videos, I hope to have all of them on YouTube. You should have them all on a YouTube link through Blackboard, and those will be posted each week, so you can each week watch both of the videos that you need to watch for class. And I know it's going to be tempting sometimes to think, well, maybe I don't have to watch the video. No one's going to know. Well, you're going to know when your grade comes out, because the discussion questions that are a huge part of your grade, and that whether it's a discussion board asking a specific question, it will be asked pertaining to the material that we are covering in this course. So it's extremely, extremely important that you watch the videos, and especially because a lot of the test questions are going to come from a lot of things we review. And the way I work as a teacher is to make sure you watch the videos is I'll say, hey, this is something very, very important. And so more than likely, that's your clue. Hey, this is very likely possibly going to be on the test. So you're going to want to make sure that you pay attention and that you're a part of the videos. And so it's going to take a lot of work, like I said, on that part for you to make sure that you're watching them and completing the things on due date. So I'm going to try to make that very easy for you to do, but I also want to make this class enjoyable. And one of the reasons why it's so important for me to make it enjoyable is because I'm enjoying what I'm saying, and I want you to enjoy it too. When I think back to my time at Faulkner, this class to me was probably one of my favorite classes I ever took, and it was very foundational. And for a lot of you, this is the very first class that you have ever taken at Faulkner University. And so I want this to be a great experience for you. I want you to have a good time with it. I want you to enjoy it. And more than anything, I just want you to learn. And as the title suggests of the class, I want you to learn more about Jesus Christ. I'm here because of Him. And if you don't have a relationship with Him, I pray that more than anything that you'll draw closer to Him as a result of this course. And I remember I took this class with a guy by the name of Don Myers, who is still at Faulkner teaching Life of Christ and other courses. And I learned so much from it. And I want to have that type of impact on you as well. And I hope you learn a lot from this course and gain a lot from our time together. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work through the syllabus with you. And so if you'll make sure, obviously, that you are in Blackboard right now. You go to your Faulkner Blackboard account, And when you get to your Faulkner Blackboard account and you click on this class specifically, which we'll have two groups of students, and this introduction video is going to cover it for both the 2-hour and the 3-hour students, that what you'll find is there are, for the 2-hour students, a few differences, and I'm going to mention that, and for the 3-hour students, there's a few differences as well. But the main thing you'll notice is Blackboard is the same, no matter if you're in the 2 or the 3-hour. So I want you to click on your course. And when you go to your course and click on it, I then want you to look on the side. You'll notice that there are different tabs. It'll say assignments, discussion, course content, and syllabus. Well, click on syllabus. And when you click on it, it should open up automatically in another window our syllabus for this course. And so what I want us to do is I want us to go through the syllabus together and just, I guess, to explain a little bit of what we have going on in this class and just to kind of make a little bit of sense of everything. And like it is going to be with every class at Faulkner, you will get a syllabus. And this is to kind of chart the course for what we're going to be covering. And so, as the name suggests, we are talking about the life of Christ. And the way I'm going to do this is like this. We're going to cover the 4 different Gospels. And the Gospels are just 4 different stories of Jesus. It's kind of awesome thing if you were to maybe have somebody that was an eyewitness account to something that was pretty incredible. It would be neat not just hear one person's experience, but to hear 4 different people. Because if you ask each and every different person, somebody is going to see something different that somebody didn't see. And that's what's so unique about the gospel accounts, is that you have 4 different men telling the same story. But you'll notice that a few of the things are different. One person, maybe Matthew, notices something that Luke doesn't, or Mark notices something or points out something that John doesn't mention. And so as the catalog description says here as a syllabus, and let's go through it together, it's based on Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The life of Christ is studied with special consideration to his life, being exemplary, his teachings normative, and his atonement for sin, subsequent resurrection, the sending of the Holy Spirit, and the establishment of his kingdom, the chief ends of his first coming. That pretty much is just to say that this is to cover the whole life of Christ. And so the purpose, as you'll notice in the next page, the purpose of this course is to study the history and the teachings of Jesus Christ as revealed in the Bible. The study assumes the integrity and authenticity of the Bible as the inspired Word of God. The bibliography of Jesus is found in 4 primary documents, and those are the ones I was mentioning to you. If you open up your Bible, of course, you have your Old and you have your New Testament. Well, the Old Testament is everything that points to this time that we're about to study, getting the world ready for the Savior of the world, Jesus Christ. And so the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are chronicling this story of Jesus. And those are the 4 that we're going to start with. So these are the first 4 books of your New Testament. So here's the 4, the main objectives here as you look in the course objectives. The one thing first is to identify key people, places, and events that relate to Christ. And so we're going to do this through the unit exams and the discussion forums. And the next thing is to understand the content and the primary documents of Jesus' life. And this will again be done through the unit exams and the discussion boards. And then to also articulate contemporary applications of the Gospels. And for the 3-hour students, you're going to have a reflective essay. And for the 2-hour students, you're just going to be doing unit exams and discussion forums. And so let's move on. If you go down to the course outline, and this is Roman numeral number 4, it tells you what this course is going to include, and this is a very broad scope. It's going to include the introduction to the first 4 of these books of the New Testament, the 4 Gospels. We're also going to talk about the setting of the Gospels, and the 4 Gospels, who they are themselves, and the historical side of Jesus, as far as his birth, his ministry, his death, messianic prophecies and words, and resurrection. And so here's 2 main sources that you are going to need for this course. And it's extremely important that you have these. First, a Bible. I'm going to be using the English Standard Version, ESV. But if you have other versions, that's fine. I have on there New International Version, New American Standard Version, the New King James, the King James. Those are fine, but no paraphrases. Nothing that is going to take away from the text and the beauty of what we're going to be looking at. But if you don't have a Bible, obviously you need one. I know right down the road from Faulkner, there is a Christian bookstore. They have plenty plenty of ESV Bibles. You can get one even, I think, for about $5 if you want. So I encourage you to go, and I think it would be great if you could have an English Standard Version of the Bible as we go through this course. The second thing you're going to need, obviously, is the book. And this is the book. I'm sure you can see it. It's called Four Portraits of Jesus, a survey of Jesus in the Gospels. And it's written by Mark Strauss. And I absolutely love this book because it's laid out in a great way. And especially for some of you that may not be that familiar with Christ, it lays out everything in a very simple and in an organized fashion. So that's the book that we're going to be using for this course, is Four Portraits of One Jesus, a survey of Jesus in the Gospels by Mark Strauss. So here's the requirements for the course, because I know what you're wondering is, well, how can I get the grade that I need to get? Well, for those of you that are in the 3-hour course, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have a 3-page reflective paper on the Sermon on the Mount from Matthew chapter 5 through 7. And this paper is going to focus on some teaching from Jesus's sermon that he gave that day on the Sermon on the Mount. And what you can do is you can pick any area within that, and there are a ton of things covered. Having a blessed life, marriage, divorce. So many issues are covered within that Sermon on the Mount, just things that pertain to just life in general. And so you can pick anything from Matthew chapter 5 through 7 and talk about it in this paper. But a few specifics, of course, for the paper, that it must include a title page. There must be an introduction section. There needs to be an application section and a conclusion section and a reference page. And you must have 3 references, not including the Bible, okay, or your textbook, okay? 3 other references than the Bible and your textbook. And well, like I said on here, no late papers. Either you turn it in or you don't, okay? So we have to have your paper on time. And one of the things that for the 3-hour students, you'll notice on your syllabus when the deadline is for that. So don't forget about that. And also, of course, it needs to be Times New Roman 12 font. And I'm sure you assume that, but just wanted to remind all of our 3-hour students for Life of Christ to have a 3-page reflective paper. And the title page does not count as a page. It's the content, and those sections need to be organized. For everybody else, this is things that everyone's going to be doing. Throughout the course, there's going to be 8 discussion forums relating to various topics and different things. And what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to post a question that is going to be based off of one of the videos and one of the things I talk about. And so I'm going to ask you, based on what I said here, what do you believe this to be? And so I want you to share in a few hundred words what those things are to be. And what I'm looking for is at least 5 sentences. I don't want anything short. I would rather have, like I said, a few hundred words of knowing that you get what we're talking about. And so you're going to have 8 of those throughout the course on various subjects and various topics that we're going to be covering. And also, we're going to have unit exams. And there's going to be 4 unit exams. And these will be timed. They will also be on Blackboard, that you will have a certain date that they will be available, but they will also have a certain date where they will expire. And so you'll have a certain day to take these by. And you'll notice on Blackboard, I will be announcing when that is. So don't worry, but the good news is you have it on the syllabus, so you'll be able to find that out in just a second. So for the 2-hour students, you have 8 discussion boards and 4 tests. But for the 3-hour students, you have a 3-page paper on the Sermon on the Mount with at least 3 references and 8 discussion boards and 4 unit exams. And again, I try to make it very simple, but very practical for you. Now, for the grading, if you are in the 3-hour course, you will be graded as follows. The 4 unit exams will pretty much count for 10 points apiece, but will be graded on a 100-point scale, but they'll be worth 40% of your grade. The reflective essay will be counting for 20% of your grade, and the 8 discussion boards will count for 40% of your grade. And so each discussion board will count for about 5 points apiece. So that's how that's going to work. So just keep that in mind about how that's going to be happening, and so you're prepared to know how the testing and all the coursework is going to be done. And it's going to be on a 100-point scale, of course. Now, for the 2-hour students, it's going to be 50-50. 50% of your grade is going to be the unit exams, and the other 50% is going to be the discussion boards. And of course, that will make the 100%. Now, if you go down to the course calendar, I have it organized in 4 different columns. You have the date, the topic of what we're covering, the activity, and the assignment. And of course, you can see the first week is the introduction of the course and the introduction of the Gospels. There will be 3 videos you're watching. Obviously, this one, and then session 1, why study the life of Christ? Number 2, what are the 4 Gospels? So those are the 2 videos that we'll be covering. And so here's the assignment. Obviously, get a Bible, introduce yourself on Blackboard. And that's one thing I'd like for you to do. You'll notice there's going to be a separate discussion board, and that's going to be a thing that I want you just to introduce yourself. And then the first assignment is the discussion board forum number 1. This is separate from introducing yourself. This will be due by midnight on Sunday, August 23rd. And this is where you will share at least 5 sentences of a response of discussion to what we're covering. And then, of course, as you go on, you'll see the same thing. But if you'll notice, every other week, there's going to be a unit exam. And so you'll have, in week 2, you'll have you'll watch 2 videos, you'll have a discussion board, and you'll have an exam. So again, that's why I'm saying with an online course, you have to stay on top of things. And you have to really put in a lot of time and energy to make sure that you stay the course. And then you'll notice as weeks go on, week 3, there's just discussion board. Then week 4, there's just a discussion board. But then week 5, there's discussion board and a test. And then you'll notice in week 6, there's a discussion board and a test. Week 7, there's a discussion board. And then week 8, there's a discussion board and an exam. And you'll notice that as well. Now, for those of you that are doing the paper, don't forget, will be due by then as well. So don't forget about that. For those of you that are doing the paper will be due by that date, on the very last date. So don't forget about that. Also, you'll notice here my name and where I'm from and my email. But one of the things, I'm very good about texting. So if you want to text me and have any kind of question at all, please just let me know. You can text me, and I'm very quick to respond to a text. I meet and talk with a lot of people during the day and have a lot of things going on. So if I don't answer your phone call, it may be quicker for you just to text me. Now, here's attendance. Students are required to take part in weekly discussion forums, and this is really going to be the way that we know you're attending, because I'm going to look through your discussion responses, and I'm going to see if, hey, is he mentioning a word or a few things that I talked about in this class or in this, to make sure that he watched the videos. And if you fail to discuss a part of the class, to me, it's going to show that you're not in the class, so that will count actually as an absence. So students who miss 2 weeks, or 2 discussion boards will receive an FA for the semester. That's if you're not appearing in the course, and so that will happen. And students who have perfect attendance, meaning you participate in every single discussion board, and I can tell that you have actually watched the videos, you'll actually receive 5 bonus points. So if you had an 87, that could bump you up to a 92. Obviously, no cheating, no plagiarism. The good thing about Faulkner, what paper you send in, we can tell if you've plagiarized or not. So make sure you don't do that. The honor code, I'm going to honor you, you honor Faulkner, and then communicate. I'll respond usually within 24 hours, and usually grades are posted at least 48 hours after the due date. So usually that's the case with that. And so you can then see how the hours are divided up, and where your time is going to be spent in this course. But like I said, I really hope that you enjoy this course and you gain a lot out of it. I know that I have benefited a lot from just studying and getting things ready for this class, and I hope it's a real blessing to you. And like I said, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to text me or let me know. I would love to be helpful and want to be a part of a great Faulkner experience for you. Thank you.